beat me up a little bit, shanghaied me, tied my ankles, tied my hands behind my back, and they brought me out of the car, out of the building into a cop car. There's pictures of me, and you see me getting out of a squad car. I was arrested for the ecstasy. I walk into jail, and I almost dropped dead. I turned around and I looked as I'm going in, and in one cell I see my son-in-law, my son. Another cell I see my wife, my daughter. I was fucking sick, and that's how it started. Thank God they got out. Not my son or my son-in-law, but my daughter and my wife. They did nothing. My daughter they charged her with it. She was pregnant when the ecstasy thing was happening. And her girlfriend called her up on the phone. The phones are bugged. And says, Karen, could you get me some ecstasy? I'm going out with my friends tonight. And she says, no, I don't do that. I'm pregnant. So she says, your boyfriend is, has got some. He's Dave. And so she said, okay. She asked Dave. She got 2 or 3 pills, gave it to her girlfriend. That was her charge. My wife, she has no idea of drugs. She's the most legitimate person in the world. They try to set her up. So a guy goes there and tells her that there's a witness. They want $200,000. They could get rid of the witness. My wife is saying, listen, we just walked out of the restaurant that we owned, and you have liquor. I could lose my liquor license. She's worried about losing a liquor license, let alone talking about killing somebody. So when the judge heard the charge, the judge said, this guy's talking to her about paying $200,000 to kill somebody. She's worried about losing her liquor license. No, this is bullshit. And threw the thing out. They wanted to bring her and hold her without bail and threw it out. Thank God she said that. But that's my wife. She would never talk about killing somebody or something like that. But so that's the things we were going through, one after the other. So what was yours like?
Mine, I was home the night before. I was laying in bed. I had my newborn son with me because I was separated from my girlfriend. She had her own apartment. I had a newborn son with me in bed. I had a puppy at that point, a puppy pit bull. And I was laying in bed. I was going to go to sleep and the next morning wake up early because I had to be at the construction company by 5 a.m. So I was getting ready to wake up at 4 a.m. and drop the kid off and the dog and go to work. But my girlfriend, the one I was separated with, she just had breast implants like the day before. And she called me up at like 11 o'clock at night and was like, please come here. I can't move. I can't get up. I can't go to the bed. I can't do nothing. I can't move. And I was going to drop my kids off there in the morning. So I'm like, okay. I put my son in the car seat, my dog in the car, and 11 o'clock at night, I head up to Scottsdale to the apartment. Now, the cop was outside my house. He must have been sleeping in the car because they were sitting on us before. They were going to raid us that next morning. So I must have snuck out. He didn't see me leave. I left my TV on in my house, and I went up to Scottsdale. Well, early on that next morning, they raided my house. I wasn't even home because I went up to Scottsdale. That morning, I woke up. I left my son there, left the dog there, and I was driving. And actually, I'm wrong. I put my son in the car, the dog. I was dropping him off to my mother's house in the morning. So I was almost to my mother's house. I was running late, so I was trying to call my father. I was trying to call the guy that I was going to go on the job with the next morning. No one was picking up their phone. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and no one was picking up any phones. And I got to maybe a block away from my mother's house. I seen helicopters. The closer I got to my mother's house, I seen yellow police tape around the house. So I stopped, made a U-turn, and started. I wasn't going to go there. I knew I was going to get arrested. I called my lawyer, this guy Brian, and I told him what I seen. And then he said that he just heard that Mike Popper's mother got arrested, this, that, and the other thing. He's like, come to my office. So I said, okay. I went back to my girlfriend's house, dropped my son off, my dog with her. I left my car there. I took her car, headed to the lawyer's office, went in there. I was talking to him. Within an hour, they surrounded the lawyer's office. They had helicopters. They had a bullhorn come out with your hands up. I wasn't going out nowhere with my hands up. So my lawyer went out, made a deal with them to come in, give me a few minutes to relax, and I just turned myself in from my lawyer's office. But if they didn't come to my lawyer's office, I was not going to turn myself in. I had every plan on going to Vegas, let the smoke clear, come back 2-3 days later, do a self surrender. A couple of days later, but I didn't get that opportunity to do that.
Now, what month and what year was that? That was
February 24th, 2000.
February 24, 2000. Now, while I was in jail on that case, in January of 2000 and 2001, no, well, when was it?
February 24, 2000, we got arrested.
And in January of 2001, I'm re-indicted with the feds on the ecstasy and by the feds now. In the following year, in 2002, I'm indicted on a cold case killing a cop with the Iceman. So I'm indicted, I'm fighting 3 cases. All 3 cases, I'm facing life without parole.
Wow.
3 different cases. So I'm having a rough time in
Arizona,
Arizona.
Michigan, New York, and Jersey.
Yeah. Arizona, the federal government, and Jersey. 3 different cases I'm fighting.
So my original plea, when I signed the plea, it was 12 to 15 years. I got it down with departure due to conditions of confinement and certain other things, but my original plea was 12 to 15 years that I signed.
I was willing to sign a plea to say I'm retarded. That's why I gave money so that they can buy drugs. Give me fucking 10 years and I'll take it. They said you're retarded, but you ain't getting no plea.
Originally in Arizona, before the feds even indicted us in 2001, the state offered me 5 years. 5-year plea, the state of Arizona did. And I think they offered you like 12 or something.
No, they talked to the judge in the hallway and they said, what is Sammy facing maximum in the state? He said anywhere between 7 and 12 years, something like that. And the prosecutors, they wanted to change judges. They didn't even want to go in front of him. But then I got arrested 2 more times, like I said, and then the roof was off. Everybody was looking for my blood. And they had nothing on the case, the federal case. My lawyers told me, Sammy, you're not on tape, and you could beat this case. And but your son is dead. He's facing 25 years with the state, and he's facing 45 years with the federal government. Now, he was indicted with the feds with me, too. So I said, but what do they want? Sammy, they want you. They want me to do what? Say that you're the boss and say that you approved everything and did everything. You sold 100,000 pills a year with them. I said 100,000. I never took a good pill. You could make a deal. If I make this deal and admit to all these things, what happens? We'll give your son a deal, your son-in-law a deal. Your wife and your daughter did nothing, they'll get kicked out. And I told the lawyers, make the deal. And I took 20 years, a lifetime supervised release, and a $100,000 fine. And I did 17-7. And by that time, I beat the case with the Iceman. And the judge in Arizona was so mad at that deal. He said it was so above the sentence, because there's no violence in the case. He wouldn't give me the 20. He gave me 19, like a slap in the face to them. I'll give him 19 running together with his federal time. And that's what he did. So his time ran out before I got out with the feds. And the state case was over in Jersey. And I got out. But when I went in, I said, I'm never getting out. It's over.
How much time did you get?
Yeah, I'll go back to the beginning then. So it was 2 years later, after they got you guys, they came for me. It was May 16th, 2002. And like I said, I'd quit the importation a year before. Thought I got away with it. I'm in Scottsdale Community College doing Spanish, going to gym, getting healthy again. And it was in the morning. It was like bam, 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 bam on the door. So I jump up from the computer